body. I want to keep you safe. Secret society, trying to keep me on.
Hey, yo.
What's up, losers? NWN here, aka Young Negro Stado, and welcome back to the Gaming Illuminati podcast. And we made it to episode 22. And now on to my co-host. He claims to be the Michael Jordan of gaming, but he's most likely Jason Collins of gaming, Game Fanatic. And we get your opening statement. Go.
Go on with the show.
This guy, he's feeling some type of way this morning or this afternoon, shall I say. And my other co-host, he got upset at the results of WrestleMania. Poor Undertaker lost his 21 win streak or whatever.
21-1 now.
Yeah, man. Whatever happened during that WrestleMania, that black guy's eyes lit up, and UTX, man, he was really upset sitting at home with his baby oil and shit. Can we get your opening statement, Nene the Don?
Damn, dog. You know, it was a serious situation, man. Why you hating on the Undertaker, man? Come on. Supposed to be winning all the matches, dog. He's supposed to be perfect before he retired. What you mean, dog?
Everybody knows I'm a big WWE fan. What are you talking about? It's WWE, right?
And the fact that you asked that question, though.
I'm not from the Midwest.
Exposed.
I'm cultured.
Go ahead.
I'm cultured.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. Exposed.
And my opening statement for today, and shout out to that 360 version of Titanfall. Exposed. I told y'all, nobody listened. And make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes. Links to all the articles on everything we discussed in the description box below. Couple announcements before we get into the show. State of Decay Humble Bundle. You get State of Decay, Guacamelee, Gary's Mod, Speedrunners, and a couple other. It's like 6 games for $15. I'll leave a link in the description box below for all my PC gamers. PlayStation All-Stars had a big update. It's like 700 megabytes on the PS Vita. It supposedly fixed like 100 things in the game if you still play that. Titanfall had an update that added private matches. In case you don't know, they steady adding shit that should have been in the game in the first place. And Killer Instinct added Fulgore, which should have been also in the game in the first place because he was like a fan favorite character. On to the story, since we was talking about that Titanfall. During PAX, the developers of Respawn, they announced that they will be releasing DLC for Titanfall very soon in May. How do you guys feel about it? Do you think it's actual DLC or is it shit that they left off the disc?
It's probably shit that they left off the disc because you know how they are these days. Not excited as usual, especially if it costs money. I highly doubt that I will buy it. So yeah, we'll have to see what this does. Maybe I'll come back if they actually announce like that single player mode that they were talking about. Maybe if they finally give us some actual single player levels, I'll come back, or if they release some new Titans. But otherwise, I mean, these new maps are pretty much just some Call of Duty shit, so whatever.
Did they say there's just gonna be maps or like guns? Like, what is it gonna be?
Right now, I'm just seeing maps and burn cards. There's supposed to be burn cards in the game that are Titan specific this time, so it's supposed to give them like different weapons, different abilities. Other than that, nope.
And that 360 version of Titanfall, I put out that video. I told y'all, don't buy no $500 console for that game because the version is not that bad. Have y'all seen footage of the 360 version of Titanfall?
Yep.
That's it. Okay, man. Alrighty. Yeah, I saw it, and it really doesn't look too much different. I mean, you can definitely tell that the Xbox One version and the PC version are clearer, obviously, but it's really not that big of a deal. And according to you and other people, the 360 version runs smooth at 60 frames per second. And so, I mean, has anyone rethought that decision? I don't know.
Screen test, though.
Yeah, it's a standard. Like, if you really care about it. I didn't see any
screen tears when I play, although I didn't play it that much, so maybe that's why.
I saw those some videos I watched. There was a comparison video.
True.
Out of screen tears, the Xbox One version still looked better. Not much, but it still looked better.
Yeah, it looked better, definitely, but it don't warrant a $500 purchase, and then the 360 version on average run at 50 frames. So it really wasn't that bad. I just noticed the difference in the resolution. That was the main thing. But texture-wise, it wasn't that bad.
And then especially if you're getting bored of the game after a week. I mean, paying $500 for a week's worth of play before you get bored and go to something else. It's kind of serious there.
I seen some people in the comments. They was mad that they spent $500. I should have listened. It was what it
Well,
is.
yo, bad.
At least you got an Xbox Ones. You know,
I
when all
told y'all
those.
the game.
Go ahead.
I told y'all the game was gonna be trash anyway. So.
Yes, Negro Damas, you are right. Yes.
I told you.
They got an Xbox One now. At least they got one for all them games that's coming out. Like what games are coming out for it? Yeah, there's no games coming out for that or PS4 now that I think about it. So shout out to Next Gen, all those great games that you got. In other news, Borderlands, they're calling it the pre-sequel was announced. It's not really a prequel, but it's not a sequel either. I think it takes place between 2 and 3 because this is not the third one, and it stars 4 new characters, and you'll be able to play as Claptrap. Are you guys fans of Borderlands? Are you excited about this new announcement? What do you think of it?
I don't like Borderlands, and I don't like Claptrap anymore.
What happened? Why you don't like Claptrap anymore?
No, I didn't like Claptrap. I tried to kill him when I did that little 4-part Let's Play of the game before I got bored of it.
Ain't that the gen that looked like a trash can?
Yeah, the
I hate
robot.
that thing.
Yeah.
He talked too much and he's stupid.
How is that a selling point? Like you could play as a trash can. I don't want to play that shit. Like,
Because people like Claptrap for some reason. He was annoying to me. He was almost as annoying as the "Hey, listen" thing following on Zelda. Like, just annoying.
I don't think anything can get as annoying as that fairy.
I don't even remember because I didn't even beat Borderlands. I couldn't get past like halfway through the game because the story mode, the way it was told, it's told the same way Titanfall does its shit with the little video screens on the side, and you're like in the middle of the action, so you can't even pay attention to what's going on. And if they do that shit in this new one, I don't care about this game.
Man, I'm excited though. I actually like Borderlands 2. Borderlands 2 actually focused more on the story. Now Borderlands 1, since they were starting off, I don't think that they really caught me with the whole story aspect. It just felt more like an MMO, and back then I really wasn't in the MMO, so I kind of just threw away Borderlands 2. I remember I gameflied that, and then I just sent it back because I didn't want to play anymore. But Borderlands 2, I played that one all the way through, and I actually enjoyed it.
Hold on. How are you okay with Borderlands doing what Titanfall does, but you don't like it when Titanfall does it?
What?
Xbox.
No, stop that, sir. Stop that. It was actually a story in that game.
I think it had one cutscene at the beginning of the game, and then after that, the rest of the story was told through little video chats while you're in the middle of the action, so you couldn't even pay attention to what was going on. Same thing in Titanfall. So what's different about Borderlands and Titanfall?
Nah, you kind of reaching on that one.
No,
I'll let you
I'm
have
not.
it though. You are kind of reaching on that one. Borderlands 2 had way more content than Titanfall, first of all, and it wasn't a multiplayer only. It was
I'm not
you could
talking
play it
about
by yourself,
content,
or you
though.
could play it co. You're just talking about the cutscenes.
Yeah, I'm talking about
or
actual
the
story.
lack
I
of
agree with you. It did have more content, even though most of it was water. It was fluff, because most of the guns were the same. It's got 1 billion guns, but then they just changed one little part on it. It's the same damn gun.
I still could pay attention to Borderlands more when it came to that. I never really felt like I was out of the action and I didn't know what was going on in that game. Titanfall was a totally different experience. It was mostly because of the fact that there were other human players in the game and you were facing them, and they could be good or they could be absolutely terrible. But either way, you had to pay attention to them and you couldn't really pay attention to the story. Borderlands 2, you're fighting against the AI only, so I never really felt out of the action. That's just me.
Borderlands was fun to me just because it was co-op and it was fun to play with friends. But every time that I played it by myself, I didn't really enjoy myself. Like, it was just fun playing with friends, basically.
That's probably why I didn't like it.
I only have a different experience. I played with people, randoms, and other people I knew. It was fun to me. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, when I played with Shofu and his crew, it was fun. But when I played by myself, it was like, eh.
It still lasted me more than a motherfucking week, though.
I just don't think RPG elements should ever be in a shooter.
Why is that?
Don't feel right. Like you shoot somebody with bullets, you kill somebody else dumb fast, and someone else is a high level that same gun with the same bullets that was destroying the other person. And the person looks exactly the same. He's just at a higher level. He takes more damage. It doesn't work right to me.
I thought it worked right in Mass Effect.
I don't know though, because I mean it's PvE, not PvP. So if it was PvP, then I would accept that. But if it's not, I don't think it really matters.
I mean, I thought the concept was cool, but I don't think it works right in shoes.
I mean, yeah, you're right though.
Put some cutscenes in the next one. I just want more cutscenes. That's all.
I
Not too
agree.
much
They
ass.
the Borderlands 1 though, that was my problem, is they really didn't have anything. Like you talk about Borderlands 2 didn't have any. Borderlands 1 definitely didn't have any. It was just you would playing straight through and then you kept getting a little action or whatever the hell from whoever was talking, like Claptrap, for example. Borderlands 2 actually had a little bit more. They didn't have the traditional cutscenes they're used to, you know, like 15-minute cutscenes or anything like that, but they did have some sort of cutscenes throughout the game.
If they give me more customization, meaning I don't have to play as a set character, I can pick my own character and choose my class, then I would like the game.
True, that would be fun.
I didn't like that play as there's a certain person just to be black. Stuff like.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. I don't know why they decided to do that, but whatever. Like you can change like colors and stuff, but you pretty much have to pick a set, you know, a set person or a class, and then you have to go from the set like head styles and body types and all that crap. But it's not really full customization.
True. So Borderlands, the pre-sequel as they're calling it. Look out for that. But let's move on to the biggest story.
Hold on. Go ahead and tell them the main thing is this is not coming out on next gen consoles, people. It's coming out on PS3, Xbox 360, and the PC. So if you were looking forward to this, I mean, if you still have your PS3, Xbox 360, or the PC, like what I'm definitely getting in on this time, like making my last mistake and getting on the Xbox 360 and be looking out for that.
Wait. So it's coming out on PC, you said?
Yeah.
So there is going to be a next gen version.
I see what you did there.
Losers.
Well, womp.
Well, you just started that whole problem off. Now it's gonna be nothing but, you guys are PC elitists, and y'all hate on consoles all day. Comments all up and down the video.
This isn't really. I don't.
We just had like a 10-minute. We just had a 10-minute discussion about Borderlands, talking about what we like and dislike, and that's all they're gonna take out of the conversation. That's
all they're gonna take out of it.
If they do, whatever, dog. You just got mine.
You a cocksucker if that is all.
And that's not even. You acting like that's our fault or something. The developers actually decided. The reasoning behind it is they said that their fan base are still on the last gen console, so they wanted to put it on there. They felt like a lot of
pretty much.
In a sense, yeah, but still, no. I mean, I don't fully understand.
That sounds like laziness to me.
That's thought I'm lazy, yeah, and I don't want to make it on that system.
Because you're making a next gen for PC, you could easily just port it, down res it a little bit for the next gen consoles. It'd be pretty much the same.
This is true. So who knows?
That just sounds like laziness.
I'm still getting on PC. I don't care. So whatever.
Right. It is what it is. Now we can move on to the biggest story of the week, and I think this is the first time in show's history that we're not doing a Nintendo sad news, but we're doing strictly positive Nintendo news, because they've finally given us something positive, something to stand up and clap up, and just you're doing a good job finally. So this past week, Nintendo had the Super Smash Bros. Nintendo Direct, and they revealed a lot of news about the new upcoming Smash Bros. For the 3DS version and the Wii U version. And I wrote down a few notes. I'm gonna read them off, the main things that I took from the Direct, and then we'll discuss it, I guess. So first thing, the 3DS version drops this summer. They didn't give a specific date, and it will run at 60 frames per second in full 3D. So right there, the 3DS has more games running at 60 frames per second than the Xbox One. The Wii U version drops this winter because they want everybody to buy a 3DS. I don't know. Both versions will have the same roster of fighters. Both versions will have unique and different stages. Elements will be in both games that link the two versions together. There's no ranking system online, and matchmaking will be based on skill. Greninja from Pokemon X and Y joins the roster. Shout out to him.
Skill my ass.
Here we go. They will have custom move sets, but it only will work offline. There will be an exclusive mode to the 3DS called Super Smash Run mode, where it's like it's like a big like level, and it'll be like items everywhere. You got to run around and collect items like in 5 minutes, and after that 5 minutes are up, then everybody fights, and you'll have like different power-ups and stuff. And then Charizard will also be a playable character. Those are the big notes that I took from like the 40-minute Direct session. So what do y'all think about this big reveal for Super Smash Brothers?
All right. Well, I was very, very excited. I see
Not
that
impressed.
they're actually trying to listen to the fighting game community, and they're doing things to actually appease them and make the online experience better. Now, one thing they didn't mention, which I'm hoping that this should be a standard, is I hope that voice chat worked great in that game, because I saw no news about that.
They sure didn't mention that.
Yeah, that was one thing that I was looking for. And I was like, I hope that you could talk to other people online. Some other things that I mentioned, and this is more for the fighting game community or just the people who like Smash Brothers, because Tig wants to get technical about that. The people who love Smash. So as far as online is concerned, they have two different modes. They have for fun and then for glory. So basically, in a sense, if you're retarded, this is a player match, and then you have ranked matches. Ranked matches, they do not work exactly similar to a standard, like I'm first in the nation, and then you go down to however many people are playing, like I'm 3 millionth in the nation. So they have a ranking system. So say if I play the game for a certain amount of time and then I have like 2 million above my name, that means that I'm better than 2 million people
Other
in the nation.
that play the fucking game. Yeah. Better than
Anyway,
200 other clowns. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep explaining
that. Okay. So, in online mode, you customize everything about your match. So you can customize weapons or not. You can take that off. So they do have an entire mode where there are no items. I know that a lot of people were looking forward to that. You can fight one-on-one this time. So that means that people do not have to jump off the map just to have a one-on-one online. So that's really, really good for the people who just want to face each other one-on-one. They also have a final destination match for every single map in the game. I think that that's pretty cool. That's just me. So I'm really, really excited about this. I might fuck around and get a 3DS.
Just for this game.
Well, the reason they dropped them, they're dropping it on the 3DS first, though, because I heard about them. I don't want to give us an idea why. But the reason they did this because they're trying to rack up on more money. They know people going to buy the 3DS version first.
Trying to make up.
And then they see that the console version comes out, it's going to look a little better. And you're going to be like, well, I like it on the 3DS, but I might want to play people on the console version too. I'll buy it on that. So they doubled up. With a smart idea. Game still, which though it's not really a fight, but pretty smart.
How's it garbage because it's not you think it's garbage because ain't no fight? I'm done, Tig.
First of all, the for glory and the casual mode shit, like that's not even gonna work, because if you could just be an asshole, if you normally play for glory, you can just go play the casual mode. So it really doesn't make a difference if they added that shit in there. And like you said, they didn't talk about voice chat or whatever, but they spent a good 5 minutes talking about their robust snitching system for people that are like cheating or they're using bad language and shit. They spent like a good 5 minutes on their report system. I'm like, wow, they're gonna have an in-depth snitching system.
How can you cheat on Smash Brothers though?
I don't know.
They've already worked the cheat in Melee, which was their so-called wave dashing. That's not a legit wave dash. You can try to argue in the comment section all you want, little faggots, but it ain't a wave dash. Okay, it was a glitch. You can look it up. It was a glitch that made it look like wave dashing.
This man's still talking about that.
Because not all characters should have wave dashing in a real fighting game. Only certain characters will have it.
Oh my goodness, you were just so much anti-Smash Brothers. I don't know why.
It's all fun and dandy when you want to play it by yourself, but when you want it in a fight, something where there's real fighting games, and you want to get it put in there when it's not a real fighting game, that's an issue to me. I'm sorry, because it's not a real. So
you telling me nothing they revealed looked interesting to you?
No. Now you got people.
Never mind. No.
Oh, yeah, it was something that interests me. They made it so Yoshi doesn't move like a dinosaur anymore. Now he walks like someone that has 2 legs. Wow. Anyway, now you got fools asking to get WWE 2014 in Evo and stuff like that because they consider that a fight.
I didn't see that though. That was retarded.
So, thank you, all you little Smash Brother idiots who enjoy playing with the little Mario toys and games and stuff like that, and you wanted to feel like that is a fighting game. So you sat there and cried all day until they finally let that joint in there. And now you got all these other idiots that want games and aren't fighting games to be in there.
Would you be mad if they tried to add like Fight Night or UFC to Evo?
Yes.
But those are fighting games.
No.
Yes, they are. What is boxing? What is mixed martial arts? That's fighting.
That's a little reach though, man. It is fighting, but still though, like no, like it's not supposed to be in there. First of all, the matches would take way too long.
Really? When you can change the round lengths.
No, they will take way too long, son. No, that's not. No, it shouldn't be in there. None of them should be in there.
Well, look, the addition of Greninja in the game, he looks like a dope new character. He was running around all fast with his katana, his double katanas, and he was throwing the knives and shit. He looked like a cool character.
Yeah, he about to go in. Oh, some other things I forgot to mention. They have a Wii LAN adapter because guess what?
They need Ethernet.
Yeah, you need internet to have a good fighting game experience. I'm sorry.
Don't you gotta buy external port to put onto them?
Because once again they did not include Ethernet, an Ethernet port on the Wii, which is so retarded. I still don't know why they did it.
I didn't even know it didn't have an Ethernet port until they did that. That's how little I play that crap. Like,
yeah, so they're gonna make you buy that if you want to have the best experience.
Did they say how much it'll cost?
No, they didn't say it. They just showed it.
It's
probably
be
more
like
$30
or more.
It better not be more than 20. I'm gonna be bad.
That PlayStation 2 joint that you had to get, that one was like $50, I think, when I got it.
Yeah,
back in the day.
That was new technology though. This is like 15 years later.
Right. That's old
thing.
And then some other things, just very small things. Sheik and Zelda are separate characters now, and also the same goes with Samus and Zero Suit Samus, even though they already were. But I know that when Samus did her special at first, then she turned to Zero Suit Samus, so that doesn't work anymore. So I think that it's all right. I mean, it's going to be interesting because personally, I like playing with Sheik and Zelda at the same time, but Sheik is my nigga though,
So y'all can have fun hopping around all day, because that's what the matches look like whenever I watch it on Evo. People hopping around all day, throwing a whole bunch of weird crap and dashing all over the place. Doing it on this little whack game that's not really a fighter. I mean, really a brawler, battle royale, whatever you want to call it. It's not a fighter, but I'm actually for having fun with it, but it's definitely not a fighter. You can argue with me, like I said, all you want in the comments to, but there are going to be people that's going to agree with me, because I saw that last time. So, yeah, and these are people that are really in the fighting community, so eat that.
And Tick wonders why everyone calls him a hater and he cannot have his own opinion and people will get on you. And this is exactly why.
I don't care.
Just anymore. Letting you know.
I'm just going to accept it. I am a hater. I hate everything and I hate you. So there you go.
That took literally a day. This man's still on stream. I'm gonna just start agreeing with people. And sorry, you already accepted it. I'm glad you accepted hate in your heart, Tick. Hate on my brother.
Open your heart and let it out. Bullshit.
All right, guess we're done with that.
No, I was gonna say one last thing. I'm mad they didn't make Waluigi a playable character. Like, he's an assist character or some shit. They need to add him. He's a goal.
You know what? Another thing, they did not say if they have Captain Falcon in the game. I swear he better be in the game though.
Is Ganondorf in the game?
They did mention Ganondorf. We put Ganondorf on the roster, but there was no sighting of Captain Falcon.
If they put him in there,
that's disrespectful.
If they put Captain Falcon in there, all they're gonna do is make his Falcon Punch a little weaker, so it won't be as overpowered as it was.
It wasn't overpowered because if you got hit by a Falcon Punch, you a dumbass. You a dumbass because you had a whole 10 seconds to dodge that shit.
That was the most fun sound in video, like parody of anything with Falcon Punch. I've seen people getting destroyed.
I feel like you deserve to get hit by a Falcon Punch if you get hit by it because it's easy to dodge. So.
Yeah, like you. Oh, so you're a competitive Smash Brothers player, yo? You
gonna be but I did.
You that good?
That was literally that was literally like the main game I played on GameCube for like a good 3-4 years.
Oh, fucking clown.
Yeah, well, paint me red and give me a red nose. All right, here we go. Next subject.
I can't do this. Take it right now.
In Sony news, Infamous Second Son sold over 1 million copies in just 9 days. Is this glorious news for you guys? Do you guys care? No, yes, no.
I mean, I'm glad that people are getting actually buying their games for their PS4, because I mean that was the main argument that the Xbox people were using against the Sony people back in the day. Like, you all are buying your games. Well, this is telling you something otherwise. Infamous must have been a really good game. Either that, or the people who had a PS4 were like, well, there are no games to play, so Infamous came out, might as well copy, right? And I hope that you all were actually satisfied with your purchase. So I think that is a good thing for them.
And I heard some rumblings around the hit. Apparently that Yeah, apparently that Sony fanboys weren't buying Infamous and selling well, but that seems to be false. And these people are in the hate community. They all say they're not, Xbox fanboys, but they really are, and they just hate on Sony and talk good about Microsoft all the time. But yeah, they tried to say Infamous didn't sell that great, so I guess that was bullshit.
I heard some rumblings around the internet. In other Sony news, The Last of Us is coming to PS4. So the question is, and it's a remastered edition, and it's going to be full 1080p. I don't know if they said it'll be 60 frames. I doubt it. But they did say there will be extra commentary added on for the person who played Joel and the person who played Ellie. There'll be like 60 minutes of commentary from them each. It's like some behind the scenes shit. Do you feel like this is too soon? Do you feel like people are hypocrites for wanting to buy The Last of Us on PS4 versus not wanting to buy the definitive version of Tomb Raider? Go.
I think it's legit. Mainly for people who didn't have a PS3 and Last of Us. So like me, for instance, because I do plan on getting a PS4, and I always wanted to get Last of Us. I was just buying a PS3 just to play The Last of Us and then selling it. But come out with a remastered version on the PlayStation 4, I don't have to do that. So I'm all for it. Good idea. If you buy the game for a second time, even if you had it on the PlayStation, I don't mind you. I mean, that's the money to me, but if you feel like you enjoy the game enough to do that and you want to see it with just a little bit more high-res graphics, then go ahead and do it. That's about me.
Yeah. As long as they don't try to stick that definitive tag on it, I guess it's all right. But then again, like I said, if you already have the game and you already beat it, I don't really see a reason to buy it over. But I know that some people will just don't get mad.
Well, it's actually the definitive version. I mean, because they only was on the PlayStation 3, and the PlayStation 4 obviously is supposed to look better, so it would be better.
I just don't want them to call it that. Just don't call it that.
Well, the Tomb Raider thing was just stupid because they couldn't make those same graphics on the PC. They only did that for a marketing ploy just to sell it to the next gen consoles. Because obviously they could have added all that in a patch to the PC, and it had been running a lot better on the PCs than it was with the consoles. But they decided not to do so.
And I believe that game literally had no additional or exclusive content, didn't it?
It had DLC.
It just
DLC that the PS3 and Xbox 360 PC version.
Are we talking about Tomb Raider or Last?
Yeah, we're talking about Tomb Raider.
Oh no, it didn't have no exclusive shit. They just added all the DLC the PS3 had.
Yeah, so what was the point? There was absolutely no point in that. I know that the PS4 version of The Last of Us is going to have all the DLC, but no, we're talking about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider didn't have anything different. That was some fraud shit.
Yeah, that was really a waste of money.
Did they say that all the DLC for Last of Us is going to be on the PS4 version?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to come on like a season pass with it.
Bro, I still haven't played that DLC that came out with the black girl and Ellie and shit.
Oh yeah, the lesbians. Yep.
Yeah, the lesbian DLC. I haven't played that one yet. So look out for that Last of Us on PS4 if you have a PS4 and you have not played it, or you just want to play it again. In other news, to try to get you to pre-order games, EA has added Bruce Lee to UFC 14 if you pre-order the game. How do you feel about Bruce Lee being in the UFC? Do you think it'll work? Yes, no, maybe so.
I mean, it's going to work in a video game, yeah, but in real life, who knows what might have happened if Bruce Lee was still living, and if he actually tried out for the UFC or did some other sort of MMA. Who knows? This is a ploy. This kind of reminds me of when they put Jordan in 2K. Everyone wants to get it because it had Jordan in the game, and people want to play with Jordan. This is pretty much going to be the same thing. Everyone wants to play with Bruce Lee, and they're going to pre-order just because. But I did hear that you can still get Bruce Lee without actually pre-ordering him. So, if you want to think about that, you have to actually beat the story.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, guess what? When's the last time we heard of this? Actually unlocking someone from beating something.
Yeah, that's a little strange. Like, wow.
That's like old school game design. Like.
Right. So, yeah.
That's too much for me to take at the moment. Like,
Yeah,
What?
this was actually confirmed. The developer tweeted it out, so they said you can still get them.
Is this real life?
And that's funny because I found that weird that they would tweet it out, because that kind of like is taken away from pre-order sales. But whatever. I mean, if they feel like they want to do that, whatever. But yeah, you know, you can decide if you want to pre-order it or not. Get Bruce Lee early or get them for actually playing the story. But you know, people don't play the story anyway, so
Yeah,
a
because
lot
the
of
game
people might just pre-order.
multiplayer.
Yeah. So
I mean, you gotta play the story for games like that. If you want to take your creative character up there, like that's the only way to get his skills up.
True.
yeah.
Listen, good.
And then a lot of people, I don't know, like, you know, people are weird these days. I can't really say anything about their gaming habits, but you know, there'll still be a lot of people that will go straight to multiplayer and just play with the fighters that are already there, and they probably will just ignore the created character or whatever, you know, little game mode that they have for them. So it's whatever, you know.
Yeah, you know the people when the game first comes out and they're already 201 in the records, and it's only been off for like a whole day.
Yeah.
I guarantee you it's probably going to be like, because we don't really know what Bruce Lee's takedown game was like extensively, they're probably just going to give him really good takedown defense, and then they're going to give him nasty hands. But if you take him down, if you somehow manage to, you could probably submit him pretty easily. That's probably how he's going to play.
Do I have to send you Bruce Lee movie clips of him on the ground with somebody?
I've seen like 2 or 3 Bruce Lee movies. I don't know which ones you've seen, but I ain't never really seen him do no work like that on the ground.
I will send you links after the podcast. Then.
And
Yeah,
those are
this too.
movies. Those are movies too.
It
We're
does,
talking about real
but
life.
this is actually skill zone. He was known to do things a little slower and easier for people to pick up on in the movies because he was too fast. Like people were saying that he had to actually slow stuff down. So
The big what if game. The big what if game.
but
It's
just seeing the show,
interesting.
when I saw that interview with the guy who said that Bruce Lee would get destroyed if he was in USC, I believe he would be that good of a character. That probably just make him just regular.
Fair enough. But what isn't a big what if is the PC version of Watch Dogs is going to be the definitive version, because Ubisoft has released a trailer in partnership with NVIDIA, and they were showing off all the different tech that the PC version will have that the console version won't have. And you know, it looks like the version of the game that was released back in 2012 when it was first.
God,
when it was
you
first-
guys are such PC elitists. All you do is talk good about PCs all the time and just badmouth consoles. I hate you guys. I don't know. I always watch the video every single time. I'm up to like
But
podcast 22.
Tick, we just talked about consoles for like 30 minutes though. What are you talking about? No,
it doesn't matter. You can't mention PCs one time. You're always boasted about PCs. I hate you guys.
All right, podcast over, you guys. We're PC elitists. We should hang ourselves in shame.
Bye.
What's the name? But yeah, they were showing off the tech or whatever was going to be exclusive to PC. So my thing is that trailer they showed like a couple weeks ago that looked like dog shit. Like, what version is that? Because they never actually said, is that the PS3 360 version? Is that the PS4 Xbox One version? What is that game?
I don't know. It's up in the air. I would hope that it would PS3 and the Xbox 360 version just so they can save face. I have no idea what that bullshit was.
What about you, Tick?
I wasn't even paying attention. What?
Fuck it.
What was the question?
Nah, wasn't it? Do you remember the trailer that they released like 2-3 weeks ago for Watch Dogs that looked like they downgraded the graphics?
Horrible.
Yeah, what version of the game do you think that is? Is that the next gen for the PS4, Xbox One, or do you think that's PS3, Xbox 360?
That was said to be the current gen consoles, the Xbox One and PS4.
Yikes!
That's what it was said to be. You can see that the graphics were. They were dumbed down on the textures, but it was still kind of high res graphics. So yeah, it had to be more current gen. That's what it was said to be on the videos.
They keep releasing all these trailers showing off the graphics. I wish they would show more gameplay, because the only gameplay I seen was Assassin's Creed with cell phones. But you know, I'm hating. Whatever. It didn't look that impressive to me. In other PC news, AMD is releasing a new liquid-cooled card for $1,500 that'll have 8 gigabytes of RAM that's supposed to compete with the Titan Black. Will you guys be picking up this new AMD card?
Team NVIDIA all day.
JG.
Well, there you have it. Maybe if I had the money, I would try it out, but I'm not particularly interested in it. I just want to see how it competes with the Titan Black, because as soon as it comes out, you know, you will see the comparison videos. And this is a gig compared to 6, so you never know. Might blow it out of the water.
What games are you gonna run on it?
I don't know. Whenever a 4K game comes out.
Then you'll be able to run it on low 30 frames. Ooh, these pretty pointless to me.
I mean, if you get one 4K monitor, you can run it at pretty medium high. You get multiple, yeah, you're gonna run it that low. Only thing I would get this card for if I was one of those coin miners. Other than that, I don't really do AMD or Intel. I'm an Nvidia, like I said. Plus, I wouldn't even spend 1.5. Like, yeah, I wouldn't spend $1,500 on a card. Like, it's crazy, bro.
I heard Bitcoin ain't even hot no more.
Yeah, it's not Bitcoin. There's other coins out there now. Come on.
I still don't get that whole concept. I don't get it. I don't know. But whatever. It's each his own. If you want to buy a $1,500 card, more power to you. I ain't mad at you. Spend your money. And this news comes from JG. I didn't even hear about this one. Apparently EA is allowing, well, back in the 80s, before I was born and before, you know, well, they were born in the 80s, but they was babies or whatever. There was a game called E.T. that was a piece of shit, and it was so bad that nobody bought it, and they buried apparently like, it was like 5,000 copies of the game in the Nevada desert, like outside of Vegas.
More than that. It's like 500,000. Actually, more than
really?
that. Like yeah. They made like over 1 million copies of that or cartridges of that game, and it sold like shit. So they buried over 500,000 copies. Apparently in New Mexico.
Yeah, okay, New Mexico. I thought it was Nevada. Well, okay, somewhere in the damn desert, they buried all these cartridges, and now in 2014, EA has given permission for you guys to go out there and dig up those cartridges if you want to play the game, which is weird because I didn't know you needed permission to do that in the first place. But will you be going on an adventure to New Mexico to dig up a copy of E.T.?
First of all, I don't have an Atari. Second of all, the game was so bad that when it was new, nobody wanted it. It was weird that people just wanted to try this garbage out just to see how bad it is. Like, it's really bad. The guy had, like a week to work on a game, or 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, it was a very short time because they wanted to get the game out to coincide with the movie.
Yeah, and he did it by himself.
So how bad was this game compared to other games is my question, because most of the games back then were shit. So I don't get it.
Well,
it made absolutely no sense. It had no plot to it.
Yeah, you would walk around. There's like these little holes on the ground. If you walk anywhere near the pixels of them holes, you will fall down to the ground. And you had to find like these objects, and I don't even know how you have found the objects. This one dude in a suit would come look for you. If he touched you, then you died or something. Like, I don't know. It was just weird.
I feel like I need to sit down and interview people that were like teenagers at that time and try to figure out what was so bad about that. Because like off top of my head, I could probably name like a few. There was like Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Galaga, Galactico. That was like the ripoff or whatever. You know, like it was a few really good games. Donkey Kong from back in the day, but it really wasn't that many games. So what separated this just made it like we gotta bury this shit? It was that embarrassing.
Type in. I don't even know who to tell you to type in.
We need to get an emulator.
I don't even know who to tell you to type in. Just
Let's
watch,
live stream it.
Just type ET video game. Just watch
live
that.
Stream
It's just bad. This is a bad game, bro.
I guess.
I mean, like, you're right though. There are a lot of weird games back that it was hard to understand, but ET was just the worst of the worst. Though it really was. Like if people back then thought it was bad, it had to be bad. That's the argument right there. It had to be bad if people back then thought it was bad.
Yeah, it didn't have nothing to do with the movie. Like, I'm pretty sure that the person who made the game did not even look at the movie or even had a chance to look at the movie. He was just given a week and they were like, well, fuck it, make the game, and he made it, and it sucked. It should have got buried. It was pretty funny.
It was the very first horrible movie game.
I remember that was the first time I even heard about that was on Icon's G4, and that was the last time I ever heard of that game.
Yeah. That's how you got. Yeah, watch that. And you're gonna not.
Maybe I need to look that up. But yeah, I guess that was the start of the trend of shitty movie games. Even though there have been some good ones, but you know, shout out to ET. going down to New Mexico, get you a shovel, a nice little hat, a New York bodega hat to cover your face from the sun, and go out there and dig you up some copies of ET and sell them on eBay. That is all I got on my show notes, you guys. Do you have anything else to add to the conversation?
Nope.
Are we done? Is that all you got?
Yep.
You know, it could have been more information, but you know, somebody took forever to come and do the podcast.
I had most of this information on my notes, and we were sitting there looking while you were muted. And I told y'all ahead of time there really wasn't much. This was a bit of a reach of a podcast. We made it work.
We had some other info that we were going to do, but we had a guest, you know, that was supposed to be on here that, you know, was going to be able to fill us out on that info, but it took like hours to get back.
Sorry, I had to take care of something, but you know, it's what it is. All right.
You kind of screwed it up. But anyway, I do want to say something though.
Okay.
There is a game that was announced that will be coming out for the PC and later on the PS4, made by Sony Online. It's called H1. What's it called? No.
He's about to say
H1Z1.
Oh, it's H1Z1? Okay.
H1Z1. Almost said, you know, H1N1. But it's called H1Z1. It's the same premise as DayZ. It's a zombie survival game. But this is actually made by people who are real developers. You know, the DayZ game, the standalone, was made by people who modded the first Arma 2. So they still didn't have a lot of experience with making games. That's why the standalone is still broken and has a lot of issues. So they're making one for the PC first. It's coming on the PC first. And it's the same concept of, you know, DayZ. So you got to eat, survive, zombie apocalypse. You can build things, shelter your house, and all that stuff like that. And it's running off the same engine as PlanetSide. It's supposed to have about, like, I think they said about 500 something people on one map, stuff like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And it will be dropping on the PS4 maybe a year later. So that will be exclusive for you PS4 guys. You know, so you guys will be getting some good games, and I think the game is going to be good. Looks pretty nice. So if you haven't seen it, please look for it on YouTube. H1Z1 looks real nice if you're into DayZ and stuff like that.
This past weekend we had the Manny Pacquiao Bradley fight. We had WrestleMania, which I want to open the floor with.
Let's do WrestleMania first. So I mean, we were briefly talking about it at first with the Undertaker thing. Of course, as you know, he fought Brock Lesnar and he lost, and there was some controversy over this. Tig, do you want to go further into detail as to what your thoughts are based on your observations in the recent articles that have come out about if Undertaker let Brock win or not?
All right, so we all know that wrestling is fake. Let's just throw that out there. If you think wrestling is real, that's just you. We all know it's fake. Everything's staged. So going into it, I was already, you know, tired of Undertaker only fighting one time a year anyway. And I saw he was old. I'm like, man, he's like almost in his 50s now, and like this guy needs to go ahead and hang it. He's not going to sit here and wrestle every day like Ric Flair did, well in his 50s. So I was already wanting him to just go out. So I got tired of them bringing him there just to win those WrestleMania. So I saw him want to get Brock Lesnar, hoping that Brock Lesnar would beat him. The whole time we were watching, I was like, yo, I hope they let Brock Lesnar beat this guy so he could finally retire. So when he lost, I was upset about it. This is something I was glad about. And I was always a big Undertaker fan, you know, it's the 90s. But he had to go out, and there was no way to let him go out undefeated in WrestleMania. So, and I believe that he really was supposed to win that match. There was talk that Taker decided that he wanted to lose a year ago. Like, he already decided that he wanted to lose, and he said that Brock Lesnar was going to be the person that he wanted to beat him in the WrestleMania. So, and you could tell by after the pin, after, you know, he pinned him, the music that Brock Lesnar music didn't even play that way. That was because it was unexpected. They didn't really think that was going to happen. So I was even in the middle of the match, you know, Undertaker on the spot and was like, look, I want you to hit me with the F5. And I'm up. Because if a lot of people say Brock Lesnar stole it from him. If he really stole it from him, Undertaker would have been kicking like crazy to kick out of that pin. If you want a good, example, go back to when Vince McMahon cheated Bret Hart out of the title right before he left, and you see when he had to hurry up and tell the ref to ring the bell, and Bret Hart got mad, he spit in Vince McMahon's face. So that's what I think happened. So I'm glad that it happened. I don't feel bad as Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's a beast. He was a legit champion of UFC and all that good stuff. So I don't got a problem with it. All right, let me start talking too much. Go ahead, JG.
Look. Wrestling is just a bunch of grown men who rub motor oil all over each other and do all these weird special moves and then pretend like they hurt. The only thing I know about WrestleMania is that black guy in the crowd with the big eyeballs. What was that about, JG? Please explain that to me.
Hey, I don't know, dog. Dude was legit like upset. It was a lot of people in the crowd. All I saw in the crowd, yeah, they were crying. They had their hands on their heads, legit like upset. Like I'm about to go fuck shit up, or I'm about to go just cry me a river on some Justin Timberlake shit. They were really serious, and that kind of saddens me that in 2014, grown-ass men are still crying about wrestling. I'm sorry, but y'all are a bunch of bitches. Please grow up, because I'm not even into wrestling like that. I'm sorry. I know the NWM be making fun of me all the time, saying that I'm from the Midwest and that's all that we do is watch wrestling. And yes, that is true. I used to watch wrestling a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I used to, I ain't exposed because I'm a minute motherfucker, but I used to be into it a lot, but I just got out of it maybe like 04 or something. I don't know. It just got boring to me. And that was when John Cena, his prime, and everyone loved him, blah blah blah. And then I started watching once The Rock came back, and once The Rock came back, I think a lot of people who used to watch it back in the day kind of got back into it, but I didn't know who half these people were. And The Rock ended up being a part-timer too, and I didn't even know that The Undertaker was even coming back just for WrestleMania, because I was like, where's dude at? Like, why is he coming back making random beefs with people just to fight in one match and then leave again? I found that kind of retarded, but I did respect the record that he had. I mean, can't nobody deny that. And I wasn't sad at all that he lost. I didn't really care whether he won or lost, but I would rather him just win it and be like, okay, I'm done after this. So who knows exactly what happened. I ended up seeing an article that said that Brock did that on purpose and that Vince McMahon was going to fire him. So who knows? Brock is pretty much a part-timer too in this case. So who knows what will end up happening with him. We don't know the real story. Maybe we'll find out later on. But other than that, I mean, WrestleMania as a whole, I didn't even watch that shit. I only saw the Undertaker versus Brock match, and I watched that. I watched the Divas match, and then I watched Randy Orton versus Batista versus Daniel Bryan. And I know a lot of people were excited that Daniel Bryan finally won the belt. So other than that, man, I don't even watch wrestling. But The Undertaker versus Brock was the topic of the night, and there were a lot of crying babies that night, and I was just laughing at all of them.
Yes, I was video after video next day just laughing at these fools, bro. Like, oh my God, I can't believe the streak is going. It was stolen from The Undertaker. It could have anybody but Brock Lesnar. He's a part, but he's 35 years old. They could have given it to a younger superstar like Wade, whatever his name is, that guy. But no, not Brock Lesnar. I'm like, first of all, Brock Lesnar is a real champion. Like, and when he came into WWE, he was the youngest champion. He took it from The Rock. He deserves it. It doesn't matter how much you don't like him because he left the show to pursue football she failed at. And then UFC, which he actually did do that until he got fired, because he's just a legit asshole. So that's why he got fired. But the dude is a real beast. Like, he's really a beast. So like, I didn't feel bad that he won. I'm glad that he got it. It could have been an up and comer. In their footsteps in there yet to do something like that. So I didn't have a problem with it.
This is why I crack wrestling jokes, because you guys know it's fake, and they sat here and discussed this shit for like 100 minutes. I like the shit was real. This is why I crack wrestling jokes. It don't matter if it's fake. Y'all talk like it's real.
Hey, chill out,
man. WrestleMania, baby.
I already put a disclaimer. I already said, we all know that wrestling's fake, because it is fake. Like, I've known this since I was little. But it's something, okay, it's like, why watch The Walking Dead? It's fake. You still enjoy watching it, right?
That's not that's
the same exact thing. No, it's not. It's always reaching when I prove a good point. No, that's a legit reason. Why watch Game of Thrones? It's fake. You enjoy
I
watching.
was, good shit that you did up because I was actually arguing with Kush over there because he was saying the same shit. And one thing I cannot stand or fanboys over one thing that just won't admit the other thing. So Kush does not like Walking Dead. He was like, okay, even one of the best zombie directors ever said that The Walking Dead is just a soap opera. And why do you guys like it? Blah blah. The shit sucks. And we was like, okay, I don't care if you don't like it. And then he's like, well, I like the Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones is fake too. I mean, this is all TV. And then once wrestler came on, he was like,
wait, was his argument that it was fake? That's why he didn't like it?
Yeah, he was like, why do you all think The Walking Dead is fake and it's not entertaining? Why do you all like wrestling? We all know that it's fake and not entertaining. But he was all about the Game of Thrones. And I said, well, it's the same thing. So what are you talking about? If that's your argument about it being fake, then you already lost the argument. People like what they like. You can't stop anyone from that.
Hey, look.
Now,
I like.
They just got a problem.
Yeah,
I
they
like
do.
Walking Dead.
They do legit have a problem.
I like Walking Dead, but I don't walk around with an axe acting all crazy like I'm about to kill somebody. I'm talking about the people that be walking around with bear grease on, doing backyard wrestling and shit. You can't defend that shit.
This man went from baby oil to motor oil to bear grease. I think you have a certain fetish, sir.
Yeah, nobody hear that shit.
It's all about putting on for the show, though. That's like their makeup. It's like when actors wear makeup or put on their makeup when they're hurt. The makeup got sores on it. It's the same thing. It's just
that's okay. I'm talking about the people that believe this shit and then go in their backyard, backflip off the roof, and fucking jellyfish grease and shit, and then they hit each other. Like, what is wrong with you?
Well, that's
jellyfish grease, though. Okay,
that's them. That's like the weirdos who go to the little anime conventions and dress up like the anime characters and walk around spending mad money just to look like these fools. Especially the ones that don't even spend enough money. They just look horrible. But you spending money look like these fools. Especially the black ones, because you go as Japanese and white looking characters, but you're black. That's just even worse. Like, I laugh at them the most. It's just like them, yo.
You spent $300 on a Super Mario costume just so you could take some pictures at E3 and get noticed like that.
Right? Just the people walk up to you. Can I get a picture with you? I mean, I'm not gonna lie though. Some of them look cool, but they are spending a lot of money just to dress up.
Now, for the people who make it themselves, I'm sure somebody gonna be comment. Well, I make mine myself. Well, how much did you spend on the fabrics and stuff to make it yourself? So you still spent money on something that's kind of weird and pointless.
They spend a ton of money. But going back to the Walking Dead thing, I mean, if you want to bring up their argument, the Walking Dead is the closest to real that you could get. If you want to talk about like shows that are on TV right now, because who knows, zombie outbreak could happen, and then what you gonna do? But that's just me.
Right.
It's not like you want one to happen.
I hella don't, but I know I'll be more prepared.
Not really, because you live in the Midwest and the ground is flat, so it'd be harder to get away from the. It'd be harder to get away from the zombies. Like, y'all don't have.
We still have mountains, right? Like we do have.
You're black. You don't hang out in mountains. Stop reading.
But I could go to a motherfucking mountain. What you mean?
You're not built for that. Your Negro skin is not built for that. Okay?
I will hella drive away. I will know how to survive.
You niggas can't even survive tornadoes, so you're not gonna survive a zombie outbreak.
What do you have there?
Nothing, because it's beautiful over here.
I don't care.
We got hurricanes. I'll take that back. We get hurricanes.
Well, there you go. Will be coming soon.
There's supposed to be a hurricane for real?
No, I'm joking, but they will be coming this springtime.
Yeah, hope
true.
Not, but yeah, hope y'all don't get it.
And the other fight that happened, the Bradley Pacquiao fight, boxing is fixed. Boxing is fixed. All right. What y'all want to say about this shit?
Oh yeah, boxing is definitely fixed. A lot of people was on Pacquiao nuts. Before the fight started, I was already saying that Bradley was coming into the ring losing. So he had a lot to prove, and if he made any mistake, he would take an L. And that's what he did. In the 7th round, he started getting tired because he was playing around with Pacquiao because he was beating him. So that's why he was playing around with him like, yo, this dude can't touch me. And from all that bobbing around, it got him tired. So he started getting hit by Pacquiao. They were already, the crowd and the announcers were already on Pacquiao's nuts. Even when he was missing, you would hear the crowd go crazy like he was actually hitting Bradley. So as he got tired and Pacquiao was actually connecting shots on him for like the next, I think it was 7 through 10. It was a loss. I was like, yeah, he's gonna lose after this. So they got to the decision and were just saying like crazy numbers, like what was it, like
118 to 110.
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, you don't know scores unless you were literally knocking the person. Like, you had to the whole fight get scores like that. And the fight thing, it was close, but it was still mostly Bradley for most of the rounds. But they already knew who they wanted to win before the fight happened. So, and it was like even before the fight happened, when they were showing the highlights of the last fight, they were saying, the announcer was saying that Bradley lost that fight. And I was like, wow, like, they were bold enough to even say that. So we already knew who was going to lose that fight. It was Bradley was winning it, but they wanted Pacquiao to win. So Pacquiao got the fight out of the politics of boxing because it's rigged.
Right. We already know these judges are shitty, especially in boxing. But the UFC is the same way. I personally don't like any fight going to decision. I would rather at least a knockdown happen, if not a knockout or a TKO in anything. But when it goes, straight 12 rounds in boxing, or if it goes straight 3 rounds or 5 rounds, and if it goes to decision, I don't like anything being in the judges' hands. The judges are always crooked, and they'll give you just some out of this world scores. So this is what happened this time. The first judge, he was more on point, but still, me and Tick looking at the fight last night, and I thought that Bradley had rounds 2 through 7. I don't think that there was any denying that, but then again, one judge didn't see it like that, so he gave a unanimous decision for Pacquiao. They want Pacquiao to get on the run again. They're probably going to have him fight Marquez. It's probably gonna be Pacquiao Marquez 3. Then we're gonna see a Mayweather fight unless Mayweather loses. But even if he does lose his last 3 or 4 fights, I don't think we're gonna see it coming.
Marquez 3.
Yeah,
that's like the 5th one.
Yes,
Are you sure?
It's the
No,
fourth.
it's the 5th. The last one was the 4th one because Marquez beat Pacquiao the first 3 times. Then Pacquiao,
man,
it's
it's
the
so
5th
many.
fight.
It's so many. I can't even keep up, yo. They fought too many damn times. Anyways,
bullshit.
Pacquiao, they preparing him for a comeback, so we'll see. That man was over here praying in the corner and shit. He knew he was gonna win. I don't know why he's doing that bullshit. Yeah, like she was tripping in the crowd, yo.
That's a bullshit. Boxing bullshit.
Yeah, it was BS, bro. He definitely won that. In my books, he definitely won that. Like, if you look at if somebody was to do a breakdown of the fight and actually slow it down, you'll see from rounds 1 to 7, Pacquiao was missing most of the shots. That's why in the fight you would see Pacquiao was retreating because he was getting hit and he couldn't hit. And then when he was throwing punches at Bradley, he was getting frustrated, so he was doing slight little jabs, just trying to find where Bradley was moving to even try to hit him. But if you listen to the announcers acting like, oh, Bradley was getting hit. They kept showing replays of flurries from Pacquiao, and they weren't even connecting. They were sitting there like, oh yeah, he was connecting on him right there. It was one point where I think it was 11th round where Bradley started getting his win back, and he started going back in on Pacquiao. One announcer said, yeah, Bradley definitely winning this round. Then the other announcer was like, well, every shot that Bradley lands on Pacquiao pretty much gets the same shots back. And I'm like, are you watching the same fight, bro? Like, he's getting destroyed in this 11th round, yo. But that's, like I said, that's who they wanted to win it, so that's who got it.
At least we didn't pay for it.
Yeah, we didn't pay for it.
I think that's it. That's it for boxing. All right, since you are already talking, you could take the floor. What's your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 22? Tick, go.
Wish people be on time on the podcast.
This guy. What's the name? What's the closing statement for you, JG?
I'm glad we didn't struggle. Thank you, Lord. And other than that, man, that's it.
Your voice struggled.
It didn't.
That's my internet.
Yeah, that was your internet, bro.
I was about to say, dog, that would be hella ironic if it did. But anyways, I'm done, though. I'm done.
And my closing statement for tonight is, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes. Link to articles in the description box below. I really have nothing to say this week, so we're going to holler at y'all next time on the Gaming Illuminati. We out.